We have got the first potential big winter storm moving in this evening. So we're all getting excited to see if this year is going to be different from last year. And by different, I mean that when they forecast a winter storm, we actually get a winter storm. So I'm just quick going through the rest of this stuff that I split the other day, just sorting it out. I was going to run a little bit more today, but now I'm not going to have time just because I've got a few other things to do. Actually have a few things to do down in the fulfillment center with some order that I need to get ready to go out. But I wanted to talk just quick, or what will probably end up being a long, drawn out little chat here. But one thing I've noticed, and I've seen a lot of on social media, is there's a lot of talk about like people that are always interested in getting into firewood and starting firewood, and you know, just everyone always wants to know all about what's going on. You know, how much do you make? How do you do this? How do you do that? I've been accused myself of like not showing my process and not showing everything and not showing all of my costs and what I make, how much I make from this, how much I make from that. And some of that is just like, if you really are serious about getting into firewood, I think the best advice anyone can give you and should give you is just get going. Like, learn from experience. Like, don't rely on getting everything or finding everything out without doing anything. Like, I think there's just so much nowadays of people want that cheat code. They want the unlock, the secret unlock to success. How do you do it? Tell me all of your secrets. And the thing that a lot of people, I don't think, talk enough about, and I think it's kind of sometimes maybe the fault of social media, but maybe on social media things just look and are perceived a lot different from reality. Like maybe, having a YouTube channel gives the wrong impression of like what firewood really is, and what, like starting a small business, what that's really like. And I think sometimes people don't really understand and have a grasp for the work that goes in behind it. Like everybody wants to glorify and talk about and, see numbers about the success, but nobody wants to really then focus on, or like, just flat out tell people like there's a lot of work involved. If you're coming into firewood thinking you're gonna make $100 an hour profit, like you probably shouldn't even start. If you're gonna get into firewood and you don't want to do a lot of work, you want to like do as little work as possible, you probably should look for something else to do. And I think sometimes like those things are overlooked when, like my channel has always been focused on entertainment. Like I have always been an entertainment channel. I'm not here to tell you how to start a firewood business, how to run a firewood business. When I wanted to start selling mini firewood, like I did the research, I put in the legwork, I found out what needed to be done, and then I started doing it, and I've learned along the way. Like when I first started out, I would just run all of this stuff into a tote or a bag, for example. I would dump it over in the greenhouse. I would sort all of this stuff out later. But then I found that it actually works a lot better when it comes to packaging boxes up, to have all of this stuff sorted out beforehand. And it works better to like not have this stuff taking up space in the kiln, because you want all of your energy that you're going to put into this kiln heat treating the wood to go to the wood that you're actually going to be selling. So, you know, it's sometimes, it's kind of like, I think back to pro wrestling back in the day. If you followed pro wrestling at all, like every now and then, you know, there'd be a new superstar would come out on Monday night, and everyone would be like, "Oh my God, this guy, you know, this is so great! This, you know, a new guy on the scene," and they wouldn't realize like that wrestler probably was working the independent circuit for 10 plus years before he was ever put on, you know, TV. Like you have to understand that there's a lot that goes into things, even like a YouTube channel. Like there's a lot more to it than just pressing record on your camera. Well, I mean, it can be very simple, yes, but if you really want to focus on like getting results and having it be a success, like you got to put in the work. Things don't just happen. And I think sometimes social media, like I said, glorifies that just happening. It's like, oh, you just go out in the woods, you cut down a tree, you put it in the back, you split it up, you throw it in your truck, and you come home with the Benjamins in your hand. You know, like that's what sometimes I think can be portrayed online. And I think a lot of people out there, their idea of firewood is immediately, I want to do it, I want to make money, but I don't want to work. Now, I'm not trying to discourage anyone from doing anything, so I hope this doesn't come across as that. I'm just saying that I think sometimes having a little self-awareness is a good thing. And I think sometimes that is what's really lacking. A lot of people see things and they see what others are doing, and then they don't have the self-awareness to realize, you know, for them to do that, you know, it may or may not be possible. You know, like you're not, you know, if you want to start selling firewood and sell 500 cords of firewood in your first year, like you're going to need a lot of stuff to fall into place to make that happen. So having that unrealistic expectation and not having the self-awareness to realize, oh, you know, I might have to start small and I might have to learn some of the stuff on my own and figure it out. And that's the part of, I think, growing any type of business that is valuable. Like that's where you get your experience from. Like don't just expect someone to give you all of the detailed bullet point list of what you should do and expect that to work. Like you gotta go out and experience it and do it for yourself. So here is an example of what I was mentioning earlier. Like before, when I first started out, I threw all this stuff into the mix. And yeah, it looks like there might be some decent pieces in there, but you got a little dry rot right there on that piece. Same thing with this. Like this is never going to be shipped out in a box of Back 40 mini firewood. So why run it through the process of being heat treated? Why waste my time messing around with this stuff in my crates or my totes or my boxes? So see, that is what I learned. I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't learned it from experience. And if somebody would have been there for me to reach out to and ask them if I should do that or if I shouldn't do that, even if they would have said, yeah, separate that all out beforehand, you know, don't run that through your, don't put that in your bags to dry, you know, just get rid of it right off the kindlet. Like if somebody would have been there to tell me that, I still would have wanted to find out on my own. Like I don't want to just be told what to do and what not to do. Like I think there's value in learning from that experience. So anyway, we'll see if we get the 2 to 4 inches, I believe we were supposed to get for snow. We'll see if that happens. I will keep you posted. That I will do. So with that, Stay safe, have fun, and be cool.